it's Robin, and I want to give you a tip for Fitness Friday. So planks can be super effective if you do them properly. If you don't do them properly, they're just not going to be as effective, and you can actually strain your back a little bit or your neck, and nobody wants to do that. And if you're doing an exercise or a workout, you absolutely want to get the most out of it, right? Like if you could only, if you don't do it right and you only get this much benefit out of it, but you do it right, you're going to get this much benefit. Isn't it worth putting in the effort to tweak those little things? So I thought today I would show you some tips about how to do proper plank and what it can look like if you're not doing it properly. And if you have a mirror, or even if you have your phone and you can have somebody video you, or you can just prop up your phone somewhere and video yourself doing a plank, it really gives you a great idea of if you're doing it right. It's way easier to tell if you can look at yourself than if you can just feel what your body's doing until you get used to it. And then, you'll have muscle memory and you'll be able to feel and remember. So if you think this topic might benefit other people, give this a like, share it. I would love to see you do that. And yeah, I'd love to know who's watching. So if you want to give me a comment, I'd love that. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, there's two types of planks that I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to talk about modifying on your knees as well. You want to align your arms properly. So you want to have your arms maybe a little bit wider than your shoulders, not much. But you want to have your shoulder right above your elbow, right above your wrist, okay? Because you can even tweak your shoulders if you're coming forward or if you're back like this. You want to be right above shoulder above elbow. And same thing if you're in a low plank. You can either have your hands parallel or clasp your hands together, whatever feels better. And you want to have your shoulder right above your elbow. And this is where people tend to collapse forward. And that's hard on your shoulder. So don't do that. You want your shoulder above your elbow. And when you're in the position, I'll show you in a low plank because I think it's just easier to demonstrate. You want to make sure that you're tightening your core, keep it really tight, and tightening your buttocks. And that's going to give you that really good position, okay? So you want to be in a straight line, including your head. So you don't want your head down here or up here. You want to be looking like maybe a foot in front of you, just so that you have a nice neutral position. And if you're on your knees, if a plank on your toes is too much, you want the same thing, a nice straight line from your head, buttocks, to your knees that are on the ground, okay? One thing you don't want to do, there's a few things you don't want to do. One of them is not arching your back. So this tends to happen if your shoulders kind of hunch up. So if you're like this is a pretty common thing for people to do. And to correct it, you just bring your shoulder blades down, okay? See the total difference for that? And the reason you don't want to do it is you're going to overwork these muscles up here if you have your shoulder blades up or your shoulders up. And you're also not working your core as much because these muscles are doing more of the work. So you want to have a good core workout, right? That's the whole point of this, of planking. Okay, the other thing you don't want to do is, especially as you get tired, what people tend to do, I'm going to just set my shoulder blades, is drop their hips down. And now what you're doing is putting more pressure on your back, and you're not using your abs and engaging your core as much. The other thing you want to do is put your butt way up in the air, because same thing, now all the weight through my shoulders, it's like I'm doing a downward dog. My core isn't really doing the work. And so let's say you're in a planking challenge or something and you're trying to increase the time that you can plank. You're better off to take a break and drop down if you're finding that you can't sustain it in proper form, because you're just not working the right muscles. Okay, one last tip I want to give you is when you're in this position and you're working really hard, we have a tendency to hold our breath. What I really want you to think about is taking deep breaths. It's actually going to give your muscles more oxygen and let them work better. So, and it kind of takes the focus off, maybe the discomfort of what you're doing. And so focus on really deep breathing instead of really shallow breathing or holding your breath. Okay, so those are my tips. If you have any questions about planks or any comments, stick them in the comments below. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And let me know, do you love planks or do you hate them? I would say most people hate them, but I'm interested to know if you love them or hate them. Okay, have an amazing day.